is a little line by the Apostle Paul.
Yes, sir.
I want you to get this if you don't get anything. I'd say one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is a little line by the Apostle Paul.
Yeah.
And he says, I, Paul, writes this with my own hands.
Yeah.
I wonder why Paul had to tell us in that particular epistle, I write it with my own hands.
Yeah.
Paul wanted them to know he had just got out of prison. He was in a Philippian jail. He said, I, Paul, write this with my own hands.
Yeah.
Paul wanted us to know he wrote it with his own hands because Paul was trying to say that those who incarcerated me and those who jailed me don't get to write my story. I grew up without a father. He don't get to write my story. I grew up in poverty. That don't get to write my story. I get to write my own story. You may have had a chapter, but I got the book. I'm Paul. Write this with my own hand. Write it yourself. Stop letting people write your story. Write it yourself. You don't get to define about me. You don't get to define what outcome. Write it yourself. Write it yourself. Write it yourself. Write it yourself. Maybe God allowed you to go through all that you were going through because he was trying to produce the writer in you. And he wanted your story to have more substance than your mama's story. So he wants you to go through some things so you can write it yourself. I'm Paul. Write this with my own hand. Repeat after me. I want you to say your name. Say I. Say your name. Write it with my own hand. Say it one more time. I. Say your name. I'm writing it with my own hand. Say I. Say your name. Write it with your own hand. So you was raped. Now what you gonna write? So you grew up poor. What are you gonna write? So your husband left you. What are you gonna write? So they didn't love you anymore. What are you gonna write? What are you gonna write? What are you going to write? What are you going to write about your life? What are you going to write? That's what I want to know. When you go to school, you're writing your own story. When you walk back and forth the house, when you carry a certain way in the community, you're writing your own story. And I just want to know, what are you going to write? What are you going to write? What are you going to write? Is it going to be your mother's story or your brother's story? Or will it be your story? Don't allow what happened to you to destroy you. I Paul. I devil. I hate. I deacon. I show. And I write it with my own hand. There's a tragedy in living a dream deficient. Everybody get out your hands. This is a